right, folks. Welcome to the Cavalry.
Welcome. Sorry, I'm furiously burping off mic. Welcome to the Cavalry, everybody. Just had a little. I know. I just had a little Dave's Hot Chicken.
Ooh.
Good. You ever have Dave's Hot Chicken? Oh my God, it's good.
You know what I have had?
Oh, you finished that off already?
I did before we got started, baby.
Somehow I could tell the way you're holding it. It's like it looks light. It looks light in his hand.
Oh, it's empty. That's
I'm gonna tell there's no weight in it.
Jerry.
I did. Did you see that? I just read a story about how Ben and Jerry's parent company is selling off Ben and Jerry's, and then they were trying to connect it to like their political leanings, because I guess Ben and Jerry are very outspoken liberal folks, you know, and then they're saying something about this thing, and whatever, doesn't matter. But my point
not
is,
getting a whole lot of details here.
well, okay, they came out in support. The Alabama outlawed IVF, in vitro fertilization, because they're saying that there's people that if you're an embryo, you're a person. Anyway, Ben and Jerry with that came out in support, saying no, that's, we don't believe those are people, and people are trying to make their families this way, and that's wrong. So they're very outspoken on, always from the liberal side, right? So my question is, you love Ben and Jerry's so much, is there a political stance they could take that would stop you from buying their ice cream?
No. I mean, I could stop talking about it on the podcast, and I could eat it in my basement like I already do, but I'm not going to.
So they could come out with anything. Yeah, you're not going to. There's no way you can separate the cream from the
the cream from the dream, baby.
The cream from the creamers.
Yeah, they're already playing. They're still playing Michael Jackson on the radio. I think I can eat my Ben and Jerry's.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Do you just stop them from ever listening?
Did I ever stop them from listening to Michael Jackson? No.
Yeah. Okay, so you're just not talking about it.
Right.
Cool. All right. Great. Move on.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I think your mic keeps switching back and forth.
Oh, I see them saying that on the screen. Hang on. Hold on.
I'm like trying to decode which mic you're on while I'm watching. This is behind the scenes, the Cavalry. Normally we save this for just the Patreon.
It's so temperamental, this court. Look,
I think you need a new dongle. You need a new dongle.
A new dongle. This is okay.
Now you sound pro.
Check.
Okay. That's pro.
I'm back. It's been a while.
Baby.
I've been in the studio,
Yeah, it's good to be back. Good to have you back in the studio.
Yeah. All right.
The Cavalry quarters.
That was a little cold open. Now the show begins.
Welcome to the Cavalry, folks.
Welcome to the Cavalry,
there is nothing Ben and Jerry could do that would stop me from eating their ice cream.
It would be tough. Like they just come out hardcore Trump supporters, just like on stage, They
would have to break into my house, stick their penis in my mouth while I'm trying to eat the ice cream, and like block it from getting, like literally physically defend my mouth hole from getting the ice cream in it with their penis.
You're like, still the next day you're at the store, you're like, it's just so good though.
I know, it's so good.
They murdered. They broke into my home and murdered my whole family. But I mean, what's done is done. What is me not eating their ice cream doesn't bring my family back,
Exactly. See, you get it. So just sit in my basement eating Ben and Jerry's, listening to Michael Jackson.
When the Sonics were in Seattle, the Supersonics basketball team,
sure,
they were sold to Oklahoma, and so I was so mad and it was by Howard Schultz, who owned Starbucks, still own, or he's the CEO or whatever, founder. And so I vowed to never buy Starbucks again. Like, I'm done. I'm never having enough. I'm boycotting Starbucks, right? And I did it for
Yeah.
like probably 10 years. And I
Oh my
would
gosh.
actively steal from them. Not steal from, I would go in and use their bathrooms and take napkins and stuff like that. Just be like annoying. Then you realize you're really only hurting the people who are working there. You're not really sticking it to Howard Schultz. But
if you're going in to use the bathroom, you're not really stealing. You're kind of doing the opposite of stealing.
At the time, it was an easy, I was giving a gift, a blessing.
Right.
But I was, at the time, it was an easy boycott because it wasn't like Ben and Jerry's. It was like I never had coffee. I didn't care about coffee. I didn't drink coffee. It didn't. And then now, as I've gotten older, I've become like dependent on coffee. The boycott's gone out the window. I go to Starbucks all the time. If it happens to be, I try to go to a different coffee shop, but they're so ubiquitous. Sometimes they're the only one around. So I go constantly. So I didn't have a strong moral conviction. It's just like I didn't need the product, so it was easy to boycott.
Yeah, I'd be like me being like, you know what, I'm giving up salad. That's it.
Right.
I'm done with salad.
You know what, arugula, fuck you, you're out.
Yeah,
not one more arugula until there's peace in the Middle East. I will not have one more piece of kale.
And even then, no kale.
Just to prove my point.
I have been eating, you know what I'm into? Salad kits. The grocery store, you get a little kit. Salad kit. A little salad kit for lunch.
Sure.
It's a healthy way to get your greens in.
And what do you put? What kind of kit? Like, what's in there? What's in the kit?
Today I had a Buffalo Ranch kit. You know what the good one is? The Caesar salad. What? I'm not sure why my co-host doubled over in laughter.
It's just you're just bragging about your. No, that's probably very healthy. The Buffalo Ranch salad. It's just it was a funny opening. It was a funny, like, of course, the one you had today. It was just a buffalo chicken deconstructed sandwich with like lettuce that you put on the side.
Yeah. Ooh, and I usually pull the lettuce off too.
Yeah. Yucky. You just take a Big Mac and drop it into a bowl and shake it around. There's lettuce in there.
Yeah.
It's a salad. These are croutons.
Yeah. Yeah, you get it. Sure.
Okay. And then you get like chicken in all these kits. I mean, I gotta have protein is the thing. I get very
the Caesar salad ones come with chicken, but I don't know if it's like, I mean, it's like little cubes of weird chicken with white shit stuck to it.
Yeah.
So that's probably gross. So sometimes I don't eat that. I won't add that. But some of them have bacon, little bacon bits that you.
Oh, there you go. What was this a doctor recommendation, or is this just you trying to take the
wheel? Just me trying to be an adult. I'm trying to adult. It's not where, I mean, I just showed you my Ben and Jerry's empty pint.
Yeah. Well,
baby steps.
You gotta have some fun. I told you a couple of weeks ago, I think I was talking about those. I'm into like protein shakes now. But I'm still, like I said, last time I was so bloated. Remember, I was like, I put way too much milk in there or something. Like, I was so full, thought I was gonna die. This time, so I worked out this morning or like noon. So then, like, for lunch, I was like, I'm gonna have a protein shake, But this time, I did not put nearly enough shit in there, because like you just saw me wolfing down that chicken. I was ready to claw someone's eyes out. It was 6:15, and all I had and I had a big breakfast, but all I had for lunch was that shake. I was like ready to kill somebody. I get so hungry, man. I couldn't go.
Man.
You hear people talk about like fasting or whatever, or even like for the day. 4 hours. I'm ready to kill somebody.
Oh, I know. For a colonoscopy, you're supposed to fast the whole day before.
I like, forget it. You're just gonna have to see some stuff.
Poop. Yeah, they're gonna have to see some poop.
Which I know we've talked about this a lot in the last few weeks, but come on. You can't be like, I'm gonna be what do they call those doctors that look at butts?
But yeah,
proctologist. Proctologist. You can't be like, I'm gonna be a proctologist, but don't you dare come in here with any shit in your ass. I mean, like, use this what the business you've chosen, There might be some shit in my ass. That's where it goes. And why should I have to not eat for a day?
Yeah, why don't you just not why don't you just put gloves on?
Yeah, put some you going, well, why don't have you thought of wearing gloves? Like, yeah, buddy, I wear gloves. I just don't want to wear two pairs. This might be a 2-pair day for you, bud.
Yeah, double up, buddy.
I went to Dave's Hot Chicken today. Might be a double up.
Double up.
You want to double up on those gloves.
Yeah, you might want to put a garbage bag over your clothes because
get some PPE.
Got a poncho.
Remember the PPE days.
PPE. PPE. Hey, I have a discussion topic.
Great. Get us out of this gutter.
All right. First of all, we talked about how we bought a car from Carvana.
Yes.
Yeah, Ford Escape 2021. And let me tell you, this is the opposite of whatever a promotion or commercial for a company is. Do not, I repeat, do not buy a car from Carvana.
You are not the first person I've heard talk about the shitty, because it just shows up. They like drop it off at your door, right? But you don't see it ever before that.
Well, no, we bought our Prius from Vroom, and I told you about that. They dropped it off at our driveway, and it had a dead battery. It didn't start. So that was annoying. But that car ended up it's great. And as soon as we get this Escape figured out, we are selling the Prius. But we didn't notice. So the USB port in the front just doesn't work. It's supposed to plug in. You plug your phone in, and then on this giant screen that's part of the car, CarPlay, whatever, all your your apps, so you can listen to music, maps. And you don't have to have your phone on a magnet or anything. It's just right there. Well, the USB port didn't work, so I was like, well, it should. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want this to be our problem. You get 7 days to return the car or swap it or whatever before, but you lose your shipping costs. So like, we already paid $1,200 to ship it, so we're not gonna. I mean, we're gonna keep the car because we're not throwing away $1,200. We like everything else about the car, so we tell them. They're like, oh, you could take it to this registered shop. We take it to the shop, and when we're in the parking lot, Erin she notices the windshield is not attached to like the cowl, the plastic at the bottom. There's a gap between the windshield and the cowl where the wipers come out. And we're like, oh, okay, well, what the hell? So we call them up and they're like, well, we'll see. I don't, anyway, it's at the third place. It's at the third different place. They said, take it to a dealership. The dealership was like, no, whoever did this they did a shitty job. They broke the cowl and they tried to hide it by just gluing it to the windshield. And that's not how it works. It came unglued. So there's shit all over. And Carvana keeps being like, yeah, we don't do glass. We don't do glass. We don't cover glass repair. And I was like, well, you gave us this car. Dude, and it showed up shitty.
I would eat the $1,200 and send it back, because what else is gonna be fucked up on it? That sounds like it must have been like in a big accident, and then they went to like a shitty chop shop type place to fix it.
Yeah.
I would just
and that's the thing. I don't know like how that works with Carfax, because the Carfax is like, oh, it's a clean, there's no accidents. And I asked one of the guy, the guy at the dealer, how that would happen. And he was like, it could have been anything. Something could have dropped on it or blah, blah, blah. There's no way to know.
Or they just never reported it.
Plot. Yeah, exactly.
Huh. So, Carvana, you suck.
Carvana, you suck. But here's what I wanted. So I am like, our grace period expired. I got it extended twice because all this bullshit. It's done today at 5 p.m. So this car is ours. And we're praying to God that their warranty company covers whatever this place is, fixing on it. And but I'm the one that's always calling and complaining and yelling,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm not good at that. And Erin's like, I take it personally. When I convey to her what happened. I'm like, yeah, they said they don't do that, they don't cover that. And she's like, what do you don't cover that? We bought a car. We're getting it fixed. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, whoa, tell them. Don't tell
Yeah.
me. I know you're telling the wrong
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
You
It's
got to tell them.
misdirected. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm getting all offended for
You're the
no reason.
middleman.
She's like, well, I'm not mad at you. I'm not, and so, but I cannot, like, I call, I'm like, you guys have to, if it needs a new windshield, we got to get that replaced. Like, well, we don't cover, we'll cover everything, but we don't cover glass. We don't cover glass, so we don't do it. And I'm just like, okay, well, you gave me this car, you got it. And they're like, well, if it's the adhesive, or something else, but the glass we don't do. I'm like, okay, they just shut me down so easily. And then I tell Erin, she's like, well, I don't care if they say that.
What a like, how I would just lose my mind there. I'd go, but there's glass in the car. You can't just absolve yourself. You can't be like, it's a warranty on the car, except for the left side. We don't do the left side.
Yeah, we don't cover that.
We don't cover, like, it's either a warranty for the car or it's not. You can't be like, oh, glass? Oh, there's glass in that car? There's glass in every car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make me lose my mind. I'm sorry, dude. That sounds like such a pain in the ass.
It is. It's
but like
all day.
Yeah. So I think I would be out on buying a car. I guess it's just points for like the old fashioned way of like showing up at a dealership, test driving it, fucking around, looking at it, kicking the tires. Yep. And then because they're trying to move it all away from that, I guess, is where you just buy all these cars online. But it is kind of scary because then you're like, oh, you got 7 days to give it back. But if you're $1,200 in the hole to send it back, that's a pretty strong incentive to just eat whatever problem is,
Exactly. And that's what's frustrating. It's like, we're looking at these cars. We wanted it to be a hybrid. We want it to be 4-wheel drive, and those are like, oh, those are all super expensive. And then we see this one. We're like, oh, this looks good. Carfax is clean. It wasn't a lease. This looks good. Let's jump on it. So we got it. And then, we're dealing with this nightmare. I'm at the dealership and I'm just waiting for it to be ready. I'm walking around and I'm seeing all these fucking Ford Escapes that are like that price. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, we are so stupid.
You should just try and run a con where you switch them out without telling anybody. Okay, I got my car. See ya.
Sir, your car was not red. I'm pretty sure it was.
I think I would know. I'm colorblind, sir. Please, that's offensive.
Yeah, I'm offended.
Well, I hope that they cover. They should cover. I mean, they'll make it right. So. This is America.
Well, if they don't, I'll just put
here
Aaron on the phone and it'll.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly what you mean by that, though, because like Heidi does that too, where. And I get it because I've been the other way. I've been the person who's not talking on the phone, but you're like trying to get all the details in. But like when you're listening to someone talk on your phone and then someone's talking to you going, well, what did they say this? Did you tell them this? Tell them. And you're trying to like receive information while they're telling you to say, and they're viewing you by not talking as like ignoring them, like your wife, like by me not saying what she's telling me to say, she's like, why are you ignoring it? So it's just making her madder. But it's like, I'm listening to what they're saying. Like I'm trying to, and so it does like make you explode. You're like, I hate God.
It's so
get me out of this middle.
We were doing that and I took the phone away and I'm about to hit speaker and she's like, no. Right. I'm like, what do you mean no.
Come on, tough guy. That? What happened to you telephone tough guy over here?
Exactly. Oh.
Yeah.
So
that is
more to come, I'm sure. But as I'm telling the story, I'm just like, how do these businesses, what a stupid idea. Like who would buy a car online? And I've done it twice. Because while we're shopping, I'm just thinking, well, in Wisconsin, we only have these dealerships, but on this app, you got all the, these cars
Right.
all over the country. So it's a much bigger pool to
Well,
pick
and
from.
also there's something about like I don't want to go down to a dealership and talk to a guy, who's like, and you have no idea if they're
Oh,
trying to stick you with something that sucks, and you know what I mean?
yeah.
I know nothing about cars too, so that puts me at this huge disadvantage. So there's some
Yeah.
like comfort of going, okay, I'm going to go online, I'm just going to read these technical details. I'm not going to get
Yeah.
sold a bill of goods because it's just, it's right there in front of you in print,
Yep.
except then
Yeah.
it
If we do
doesn't
to a
have to be
dealership,
what they say it is.
CarMax, I guess apparently that's the way to go. CarMax is it's like
Yeah.
this is the price, take it or leave it. There's no haggle. You just buy it.
Just try it one more time buying a car online, Johnny. Just this next one. That'll,
No, CarMax. No,
isn't
not
that
that's not
online?
online.
Oh,
No,
it's
no, no, no.
not. Oh, okay.
That's where you go to a lot and it's like haggle free shopping.
Yeah, yeah, that's what. Okay, yeah, I like that. There you go. I told you
Yeah.
that one. I already told this story about how I sold my mother-in-law's car one time, but I didn't know what I was doing. We just did it on Craigslist, and I didn't know about
Like
like. I mean, it was
the
her. She
title.
wanted me to sell the car for her. She's just like, "Can you sell my car?"
Yeah.
And I didn't have the title. Like, I didn't know that you had to give them the title, or sign that over at the DMV or
Yeah.
anything. So just
And
like,
they didn't know either.
and whoever bought it was just buying a car on Craigslist, so obviously they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So they just
Yeah.
show up and they drive it around, and I think he came with his girlfriend or something, and she was liked it, so it was like a done deal. And he gave me the cash, I gave him the keys, and then that was,
Yeah.
and then he had the car. But then he started getting parking tickets, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and he wasn't paying them. I told you this, right?
Yeah, but I thought it got stolen or something.
No, well then, so it was in um Heidi's brother's dad's name, and
Yeah.
the car was, he had like technically owned the car. He had given it to Michelle, my
Oh,
mother-in-law,
okay,
but
sure,
he
sure.
he technically he had his name on the title, right? And
Yeah.
so he started getting all these parking tickets in the mail. And he's like, what the hell is this? But then I was like, well,
Yeah.
we sold the car. I don't know what you want me to do. He's like, well, did you change the title? And I was like, I don't. This is the first time hearing about having to do that. I thought the state would figure that out. I'm so stupid. And then so he finally kept calling the guy, and he wouldn't, because I had his information, but he wouldn't answer, and he wouldn't get the tickets
Yeah.
taken care of. So he just went down and got his car back, and
Like because he had an extra
he
key.
had it on he had like a low jack on it, or what do you call that, tracker.
Yeah.
So he just went, found it parked somewhere, and stole it. And the guy
And
never.
he had a key though.
Yeah, he had a key. He had an extra spare key. And then the guy never reported it stolen, because I think the guy might have just abandoned it because he was like, "There's too many tickets, and the car's not in my name anyway." And so
Oh my God,
he
that's
just
too
got his car
funny.
back.
Wow.
It's real street justice.
That's the way to do it. Just buy a cheap car in cash. Don't deal with the paperwork. You can just
Yeah,
park it in. You put him handicap. You could park it in
yeah,
fire zones.
yeah. You know,
Yeah.
and just like if you ever like really like, hey, you ever wonder what it'd be like to just, you know, drive your car like into a river and just dive out at the last second? That'd be fun. You could do it.
Yeah. You could do it. Yeah, that's
Forget what
fun.
we sold the car for, but it was not like nothing. It's a couple
Yeah, I
thousand
gotta, and we
bucks.
gotta sell the Prius, and this will be the first car I'm selling that's like, I'm not selling for $500 or some shit.
Yeah.
And so I gotta figure out like how taxes work. Because don't you like say, all
Oh,
right, let's tell you what, you give me $9,000 and we'll mark it down as that you paid four. Then we'll
I
all
have
save on
no.
tax.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good point. So you're gonna try and sell it yourself? Like you're not gonna
Yeah,
sell it to like a dealer. You're gonna go just list it on CarMax
yeah. We'll
or
list it on, I don't know,
Craigslist.
Facebook Marketplace.
Trade it for a couch. Dude,
Yeah,
yeah.
you want a couch?
What so you think you could get, like, for a Prius though, you can get a lot of money, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, if Kelly's Blue Book is like, I don't know, 8 or 9 for the condition it's in, the number of miles a year. So
hell yeah.
we'll see.
Cash. someone's gonna give you $9,000 in cash. That'll feel pretty.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like that's another thing I was thinking the other day. Like if someone gives me a check,
You can't take.
I'm not going to take a check.
Don't take a check. I'll tell you that right now. Cash, baby, briefcase.
I think I either be
it has
cash
to be
or
it has to be in a briefcase, and you have to have it handcuffed to your wrist. Just because I think that's really cool. So if you don't have it handcuffed,
it has to be in a public place.
Yeah, in a park during the day. Make sure you weren't followed.
But even if it's like a cashier's check, even if it's a cashier's check, like I don't know what a cashier's check looks like.
What's the limit on like Zelle? Could they just Zelle you it? Can someone Zelle you $9,000?
Yeah, I don't know. How do you do that? I don't know.
I just say cash. Give me $9,000 in cash. $9,000 in cash will fit in an envelope. That's
true.
How many hundreds is that?
90
hundreds. That'd fit in an envelope.
Yeah.
Cash.
Oh man, that'd be a sweet Instagram post. Me holding 9G. Next to my Ford Focus with a fucking cracked windshield.
Maybe that'll be enough to fix your windshield. You can just stuff the hundreds in the bottom to fill the gap in.
To fill the gap. That's a good call. Oh God.
Speaking of glass, because I just was here's a discussion topic. This doesn't discussion point, pre-show discussion point.
Sure.
This doesn't rise to the level of a topic for me because I don't think I'm passionate about it. If you notice, like you go to the drive-through, there's always two windows, right?
Yep.
Is this a new thing, or has this always been? We're just not using the second. Like we're
first
just
one.
We don't use one of the windows. We're like we always build two, but we're never going to use that one.
That's a good point.
I mean, what is it for?
Yeah, drive to the second window.
I feel like we used to pay at the first window, pick up at the second window. But I don't know if there was like a lack of trust or people were out on that system. I don't know what happened to that system, but now there's always two, even in new places, there's always two windows, but you're only using one.
Yeah, it's almost like you give them money. You're like, well, I'm not pulling up there. How do I know there's someone up there with my food?
Yeah, the old bait and switch.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Hey, okay, Wendy's. Same time. Same time, Wendy's.
You toss
You toss the bag in the car. I'll give you the money.
I'll give you the $12. Yeah, I think the boring answer is during like rushes, like lunch rush, they do use the two. But if you go just,
I'll tell you something. I was just at dinner rush, and there was like a line of like 16. There's a long line. It was moving slow as ass. And they still were only using one window. So I don't know. McDonald's uses two. This was Dave's Hot Chicken.
Oh, okay.
But McDonald's uses two, according to my mother-in-law. She goes to McDonald's by her house, and she says they use both windows because they do the app thing and all that. But anyway,
the Taco Bell that our listeners have heard me order from, they have two. They've never used the first window, as far as I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Someone's got to look into this. Biden, get on it.
It's fishy.
Well, it's just inefficient, Inefficient.
Yeah. Inefficient.
Inefficient.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other pre-show topics?
I don't think so.
I got sports talk.
Oh,
we talk bracket.
Bracket time.
You can talk bracket.
Bracketology with Johnny Beaner. What's up?
I got different circles of friends sending, let's do the buy-in for the bracket. So I'm doing one. I'm out on one and I'm in on the other. And I just had, instead of copying Dentist Luke's bracket, I decided to click autofill historical seed percentage something. So it like autofills it based on something. And then I just kind of tweak a few of them so that I can feel like I owned it.
Oh, what were your tweaks? That's interesting to me. What did you look at?
I don't remember who they had.
And go, wait a minute. That doesn't seem right.
I mean, whoever they had in the final two, I hadn't even heard of one of them. So I had to be Marquette. Right now it's Marquette and Arizona. in
Okay.
the top two, and I have Marquette winning.
Okay. Sure. Homer pick.
Is that a good? Is that? I mean, they're
I
good,
don't
right?
know. I don't really
The only reason I
watch.
know is because someone saw me wearing a shirt, and they're like, "Oh, they're pretty good this year," and I was like, "Oh, noted. Thank you, sir."
I'm not a big college basketball guy. So I
Oh, you got to get into it, Andrew. You get that's where the action's at. I mean, these are the kids; they got the passion.
that's a take I could have had backup on, but
My
it was
brother Luke would back you up on that. He likes college basketball more than NBA.
oh see I see I'm the opposite.
Me
See,
too.
I would tell people. I remember when I started working at the radio station, that was like a common opinion, like, oh, college is better. They actually care. You know, they're kids and they're hustling out there, and they're in it for the love of the game, not the money. Those pro players, they just lazy taking. I'm like, well, first of all, now you can't even say that about college because they pay the college kids, you know, to play
Okay,
basketball.
I did not know, but okay.
And secondly, I don't you just want to see the people who are the best at what they do it?
Yeah,
Like by your logic, you should go, oh, why would you care about college? I watch junior high. That's when they really love it. That's when they're playing for the love of the game, not just for
yeah,
the spotlight or the TV endorsement deals. No, they're playing for the orange
yeah,
slices after.
yeah. They're learning how to play while they're playing. That's where it's
Yeah.
at. Yeah, they're
The
making
ref the
mistakes,
ref is
getting
letting a
yelled
lot of
at.
stuff go because otherwise we'd be here all night. That's what you want to see. No,
That's
how about
right.
I want
Yeah.
to see the people who are gods among men that were literally born at a 0.001% chance that they'd be good enough to play in this league from international competition where everybody is the best in their freaking
Yeah.
ever from their town to ever do this one thing, That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Of
great
course
that
I
you
like
like
the
to see him
pros.
move the ball around. I want to see a guy jump from the fucking 3-point line and
Right.
slam dunk.
I want to see the mutants.
Right.
You know, I don't want to see the guy like practicing pretending to be one of the good ones, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So fuck
So
you, Luke. Fuck
fuck
you,
you,
Luke.
Luke.
You're wrong. You're wrong in your opinion. Stupid.
Start your own podcast if you want backup, Luke. Leave a comment next time, Luke.
Uh, I think he has left a comment though.
Oh, even though I should be nicer.
Welcome back, Luke. We're a big
You're
fan.
back. You're back. You're back, Luke. You're back in the fold.
Yeah.
And if you just said, though, I like college better than pro, we would have found a way to back you up. I promise. I don't care that much.
Right.
The
That's
NCAA
right.
tournament's better than.
Are you in a bracket?
No, I don't do them. I don't do them anymore because I don't watch.
Not even NBA ones?
They don't really do. No one really fills out brackets for the NBA, but I do watch like the NBA playoffs.
Oh, okay. All right.
But the reason why the NCAA tournament's better than anything else is because it's the single elimination. It's just like one game and you're out.
Oh, okay.
So that makes it really intriguing. And then what I used to love about it when I did fill out brackets and cared a lot is it just start like Thursday morning at 9 a.m. and would just go all day. And so you could just watch these games all day and you have your little bracket and you go, oh, that was a win. Oh, they're cutting over. Oh shit, they're about to lose. Oh God. And then they're just bing, bang, boom. And it was like constant stimulation, That's what, and you didn't even know these teams. I didn't know 90% of them you'd never seen play basketball that season, But
Yeah. But
then
how
all of
long
a
does it
sudden you'd be
last? So
invested.
it starts this Thursday and it ends when? Is it like a
Uh,
weekend tournament?
no. There's 4 weekends. So there's the
Oh.
round of 16, then no. That's Sweet 16. So it starts with 64, and then they get down to Sweet 16 next
32,
weekend. So they play on Thursday. If you played on Thursday and you won, you'd play on Saturday in the round of 32. If you won that, you'd play the next Thursday 16, the next Saturday 8, then the next weekend's the final 4. So however long that is, I think.
Oh, okay. Huh. All right.
3 weeks. It's 3 weeks.
That's
I guess.
fun.
Yeah, it's great.
Go Marquette.
Go Marquette. I'll root for Marquette. I'm gonna go fill out a bracket after this. Make Marquette the winner. Actually, I'm gonna root for Arizona to make it interesting. What if they make it? What if
Yeah.
both of those teams make it? And then we can have a real
That'd be great.
bet going.
No, then I'd for sure win the bracket, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you clicked a button. You're gonna have a lot of competition. People probably picked a lot of the same teams as
Well, I mean,
you.
there's I don't know, 7 people in this pool.
But what if they all click the same button?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't
And
know.
what if they all click the same button and then didn't make any changes, and then your changes are just what ends up costing you the whole thing?
Yeah, because you can also click autofill, and then you can like click, a sports commentator. You can just match their picks. What if everyone in the pool picks their picks?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, but the good thing is nobody really knows anything. Like, no one's better at this than anybody else, I don't think. So randomness is probably your friend. So I bet by changing some, you probably helped yourself.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah.
They should make me a choice. Be like Johnny's picks.
Johnny's picks.
Yeah.
Because you always see that's a big cliche too, but the people who win the tournament are always the people who know nothing about basketball, and then they pick based on mascots, or they're like, well, a horse could beat up a turtle, and then they pick the horse,
Yeah. I always just go by dick size.
Yeah. You have to do some research.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Hello, Marquette. Hi, my name's Johnny Beaner. I need to get some information about some of your student athletes. It's for a research project I'm working on.
It's for my bracket.
Hello?
I'll be honest.
Hello. That's rude.
Yeah, how big is Tommy Basketball's penis?
Tommy Basketball. Oh, you would like this. So, you know how sometimes I think this started with soccer, like international soccer, but if there were two players from a team that both respected each other greatly, after the game, they would do a jersey swap, and then they would kind of pose with the other guy's jersey. Did you see this? I was like, this is right up Johnny's alley for sports talk. So there's a guy in the NBA named, his last name's Black, another guy in the NBA, his last name is Dick, and then they did a jersey swap, and they clearly knew exactly what they were doing. And also, what's so funny about it are these are like no-name players. These are not good players. They don't respect each other. They're just like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if it said Black Dick? And then they move their jerseys around in that way.
See, the thing that I did, like, I saw it and I was like, what's funny about, like, I mean, because I didn't know I didn't know that was a thing. Right. I thought it was just two players. They were like, hey, our jerseys, let's stand together and hold them, because then it's like Black Dick.
It is kind of that. I mean, it's not like that creative or anything, but it's funny to me how funny they thought it would be, and then of course it goes viral on the internet, so they were right. But that's a good sports angle for you.
I like it. Yeah.
Topics, my friend.
Let's get into topics. Let's do it.
Okay,
let's do it.
Should I go first?
Yes.
Let me go first, because we were talking about the drive-through, we're talking about McDonald's and stuff. So here's a common, a lot of people are suffering from inflation. You just bought a car, everything's, and let me say, no one suffers from inflation more than stand-up comedians, because there's no cost of living increases in comedy. There's no, like, the $200 gigs are still $200 gigs, folks. They're not like matching. They're not like, well, inflation was 10% last year, so we're going to go ahead and kick that up. No, these were $200 gigs in the 80s, and they're $200 gigs today. So comedians suffer from inflation more than just about
than anyone. Absolutely.
And I feel bad for people who are really struggling, especially when it comes to like energy prices for your house or your apartment, or even like gasoline, stuff you can't avoid. But can I tell you something? I'm starting to lose sympathy for these types of posts. Well, they'll post a receipt, and it'll be from like Five Guys or, Panda Express, whatever. And they're like, can you believe $86 for this inflation's out of control. This is bullshit. I can't believe I just bought this amount of food cost me $86 and, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you can't believe it. You can't believe it. They put the prices on the menu. So if you walk into Five Guys and go, oh shit, it's up to $11 for a burger, fucking leave. Don't buy the burger. Because you want to know why they're charging $11 for the burger? Because you're paying for it. Everybody's buying it. There's still a line. So just stop buying the burger. Go make your own stupid burger,
Yeah, you can't complain if you're going to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then even worse, you'll see they Grubhubbed it or they DoorDashed it.
Oh, God.
Of course it's going to be you as a French monarch had Five Guys delivered to your front steps and you're bitching about it being expensive. Why do you think it's expensive? You had to involve a third party, some dude in a Mazda Miata had to bring that to you. Of course it's going to cost a lot of money. I mean, are people out of their mind? They're like, this costs more than it did 10 years ago because this shit didn't exist. You couldn't get McDonald's delivered to you 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 15 years ago. I don't know.
Oh so my God. But
you guys are the reason why shit is so expensive. People who buy shit. So if you're part of the problem, is what I'm saying. People can't believe stuff's so expensive nowadays. If you just quit buying the shit, they would lower the prices. They would have no choice.
They're trying to get sympathy from all the views. Like, oh, look at this. This is $86, but you're also saying, hey, I can afford $86 worth of Five Guys. I don't like it, but I can afford it.
Dude, I know. And then they're like, well, the grocery store is expensive too. It's like, yeah, all right, man. Go ahead and go to the frozen foods. Get some frozen pizzas. It's not going to cost you DoorDash Five Guys prices. Okay. Or there's plenty of stuff at the grocery store. Again, I sound like I'm being like mean or something. I'm telling you, I noticed inflation too. Stuff's more expensive. Sometimes I'm at the airport and you have no choice, whatever. You can't believe it. But I still don't have to buy it. Like the other day, I was at some airport. I was looking at the prices and I was like, this is insane. I'm not going to do this. And instead I just went and bought like power bar things or Cliff bars or whatever. Cause I was like, I'm not going to spend this. So, that's the only way it's going to stop being. It's the same thing with gas. Again, I get people are like, well, what am I going to do? I have to drive to work or school or whatever. I agree. But then they're like, oh my God, can you believe it? It just cost me $160 to fill up my M1 Abrams tank. I can't. I was like, yeah, buddy, have a little foresight. Don't buy the tank. Maybe get something a little more economical. Would be my advice.
Get a Ford Escape hybrid with the
or buy Johnny's Prius if you're pissed off about it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's like a $40 tank every time. $40 or less for the Prius, right? Every time you fill it up.
It's like
you ever
30.
spend more than $40? $30.
No, I've never spent more than 40.
Yeah.
Couldn't if I tried. There's not room. It's a small tank.
So there it is.
Oh, I'll back you up. Yeah,
no more of these posts with the receipts and the sticker shock. I'm over it. I'm just immediately over it. If it's any restaurant, or coffee shop, whatever. Yeah, coffee, when they do the $9 coffee. Can you believe coffee's $9? Yeah, I can believe it. I can absolutely believe it because you keep buying it.
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
You idiots.
Do you get fed those posts about how it's just impossible to own a home now? All these men, if you were to buy a house in 1994, this is blah blah blah. But now people can't buy homes. It's impossible to afford a home.
And they completely ignore the data that shows more people own, by percentage, more people own their home now than did in 1957. Because they always show these graphics of this family, and it's this dad with a pipe, and he's with his wife, and she's got a big turkey on a silver platter to the kids who are dressed, and they're like, what happened to this life? Because that was only one house, and there were for every one of those houses there was 100 others where the dad was in a coal mine, and everybody was living in in Hoovervilles, or I don't know, whatever the fuck. But you know what I'm saying? Like everybody, I already talked about that with the nostalgia thing, but that drives me crazy too. Like it wasn't better back then. Trust me.
Well, but even like the ones where they're comparing it to like 2008,
Yeah.
and they're like, just I don't know, I don't really pay big attention. I just kind of scan through, but so I can't really give you the details of it.
No, but even in 2008, like, so if they're talking about like I don't
I don't
know,
know if it's
I'm
house prices
39.
or interest rates or what.
When I graduated college, it was right during the financial meltdown, like the houses, the
Oh yeah, 2000. Yeah,
everything
2008.
went
The
belly up.
bubble.
So you couldn't
Yeah.
get a job. There were no jobs, you know. Yeah, I didn't really know because again, I was just broken in comedy, so it didn't really matter to me. I wasn't going to get paid work anyway. But like, there was nothing. Bunch of places went under. The economy was horrible. And then yeah,
Yeah.
houses were cheaper because nobody could, because they had to be, because everyone was getting foreclosed on. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it's way too hard to buy a house. I mean, right now I agree because it's like they should build more houses, but uh I don't want to hear this shit about it was better back, it wasn't.
Man, we should
You
start a
don't want to go
finance.
back.
We should start another podcast called Finances with Johnny and
Yeah, we're making a lot of sense. Just shut up.
talking money.
Shut up about it.
Man, shut up, quit bitching.
Quit. Just two homeowners telling people to quit bitching.
Yeah.
But like, it's
Yeah.
not like
Get to
I'm
whining.
rich. That's what makes me mad. It's like, I guarantee you most people listening to this probably have more money than I do. It's just like, it just bugs me that people whining about inflation at Five Guys. Like, don't go to, dude. I thought Five Guys was expensive when I was
I
20.
know.
I used to go there like, Jesus, $8 for like they were pricey back then to me.
Yeah.
Go to Wendy's.
Yeah. They got they got the Coke. They got that machine where you can put the flavors in the
Yeah.
Coke. That's
Which
how they
that was
get
another topic I had once where that's so overrated.
because those are always broken.
Well, and also just give me the Diet Coke. I don't want a bunch of shit in it.
Oh yeah, you don't. Well,
Pure, unadulterated Diet Coke. Don't cut it with strawberry vanilla.
yeah.
6.
Well, I mean, vanilla. Yes, vanilla strawberry. No, not strawberry. Vanilla cherry Coke. That's what That's like the sweet thing. Oh, so good. I'm getting hard thinking
Oh,
about
dude,
it. Anyway.
I went and saw Dune 2.
Oh yeah.
This was when I was on the road somewhere, and I had a day to
So
kill.
you understood Dune 1.
Well, I read the book, so I went.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, excuse me, Professor.
Yes,
I read the book.
I actually
what
wore
was better, nerd?
I wore a graduation cap as I read it with the little dangling
Nice
rope.
And then you just moved it after the last page.
After I read the last page, I moved the rope over.
Yeah. You moved the rope over. Okay.
No, I used to read when I was reading that because you know how Heidi hates sci-fi so much, and that book is so sci-fi. Like it's in the movie. I mean, it's so dorky and nerdy, because there's so much jargon. I used to just read paragraphs out loud to Heidi, and she would just like revile. She just physically repulsed by it.
Oh God.
Like, Duke of Atreides and all this.
You have a glossary in the back to look up all the nerd terms.
I don't remember if they had that, but it's one of those ones when you're reading it, you just kind of have to keep going. You're like, I don't know what that means, and you just have to like, eventually with context, I'm gonna know what they're talking about. But I'm just gonna plow through, and hopefully, Game of Thrones is kind of like that too. But I remember when I saw Dune 1 and I watched it, and I was like,
read Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh, is this hurting your feelings?
No, I could never.
You read books?
Lord, did you read the fucking Hobbit shit? Whatever.
No, I haven't read The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
But you read all those Stephen King books. Those are long as shit.
Yeah, but those are like fourth grade reading level language. I mean,
sorry, Stephen King.
I mean, he's a great writer, but he's not fucking. There's no glossary in the back. I mean, all his stories are about fucking dads fingering their daughters.
Oh gosh. Okay. That's another topic
Did that
I have
remind
to
you
get
of
to. Well, that's
we can
horrible.
we
That
can
made
jump right to it if you
Can we
want.
jump right to it? Just because I don't want people thinking the wrong thing now. I
Yeah.
saw Chinatown. Have you ever seen Chinatown with Jack Nicholson? Like it's the
No.
famous. Never seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So can I spoil it for you? I don't. You're never gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like one of these. It's like, obviously a very famous movie. It's like, forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown. He's got the nose. So I knew all the imagery from it, but I was like, I should see it. I've never seen it before. And I was on the plane, and it's like this film noir. So it's like he's a private eye, and then it's
Who's
like
in it?
Jack Nicholson,
What year is this? Like,
like the 70s. I don't
okay.
know,
All right.
1970 something.
Sure.
And Faye Dunaway's in it, and so it's like this Oscar-winning, famous movie, right? And so then you're watching it. It's complicated, but it's interesting. It's set in Los Angeles. It's gritty, whatever. It's good. And then they get to the end, and the big twist is the bad guy. You find out is the girl Faye Dunaway's father. Then you find out Faye Dunaway's daughter is her father's kid. So you find out her dad molested her, and then had her child is now her dad's child. Like the grandchild is actually the child. Does that make sense?
So her
So
dad is the dad of this child, and she's the mom of the child.
yes. So he like raped his daughter and then had this kid, and so that's all
Oh
like
my-
kept secret, and then it comes out in the end. So obviously, like, oh my god, this is the worst villain of all villains in any movie. So you're like, just can't wait for once you find this out. Like, you're just like, oh my, wow, how is he gonna get it?
Yeah.
He's gonna, they're gonna torture him or
Get
something.
his comeuppance.
Right? Like you're so invested, right? The end of the movie, he gets away with it, and the lady gets killed, and then the grandfather is reunited with the daughter and takes her. And that's like the last thing you see. And so the famous line, forget it, Jake, it's Chinatown, is the other cops pulling Jack Nicholson back going, hey man, forget it, Jake, it's Chinatown. You can't win. And that's the end of the movie. So I'm like, this child molester wins, and he's also has this other evil plot that he's going to get away with too. And so then you're like, wow, okay, I see why that movie's so famous now, because it's like so like nothing I've ever seen, right?
Okay, yeah.
It was directed by Roman Polanski. Do you know about him?
What? No. What's he? What's the?
He's a famous director, and this is before the Me Too movement or anything. He was a famous director who had to flee to like Switzerland because he was convicted, not just like accused, convicted of molesting a 13-year-old girl, giving her quaaludes and
Oh my god.
molesting her. So then you're like, wow, what a coincidence that this guy directed this famous movie where the child molester gets away in the end, and he happens to be a child molester. Then
it was like a feel-good movie for him.
I'm on the plane, I'm losing my mind. I'm like looking around. I want to talk to people about this. Like, can you believe this shit? Then I Googled it, just like Chinatown ending, Roman Polanski, like whatever.
Yeah.
And he gave like a million interviews talking about the ending, saying, yeah, well, in the script, it was more of a traditional ending where Jack Nicholson gets his man and he kills him in the end. But I just thought it'd be so much more interesting. So Roman Polanski changed the ending so that the child molester got away with it, and he is a child molester. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I feel like people don't talk about this enough.
Yeah, I never heard about that.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
I had to talk about it with somebody because I was like, oh my god, this is like blowing my mind.
When did you watch? What did you watch?
I was
this?
flying back from Minneapolis. I had a layover in Minneapolis, and then I was flying back, and it was on the plane, like on this Delta flight.
Wow.
And I was just like, Just, oh my God, it was just like, I was kind of like, I felt like I was like one of those guys who's obsessed with like the Epstein Island thing. I was like,
Yeah.
is nobody talking about this? I mean, they
I
are. They
know.
convicted him, and I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he's still alive or what. But anyway,
Wow.
so there you go.
Now I'm gonna have to do some deep digging after we done recording. Look into
Yeah,
that.
I mean, like, I'm just curious if like people, because obviously everyone knows he was that came out in the news that he was like a child molester and everything. But like, then it's like, do you ever make the connection with Chinatown? Because it's like such a famous movie that I feel like no one's actually watched, right? Like everyone
Yeah.
knows Chinatown. You know the name of that movie. Like it's very
I keep thinking of the you say that I keep thinking of the Kurt Russell Big Trouble in Little China, but that's a different movie.
well. That's another really famous movie by title that I've never seen. Have you ever
I've
seen
never
that?
seen it either. No.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway, I don't know where that fits
Anyway,
into the show. What do you need backup on, Johnny?
I need backup on whatever happened to I thought like shouldn't we be embarrassed to have pink eye? Like I thought like people are just so willy-nilly, oh yeah, we got pink eye in the house. Like that means there's poop in someone in your house has poop in their eye. How is this just oh yeah, my daughter's not coming in. I mean, it happened like Phoebe had it, and yeah, you can say, oh, she got it at school, but no, she probably had her finger in her ass and then wiped her eye, and there's poop in her eye. How is that not,
You're saying we should have a little more shame around pink eye, like come
I'm
up with
saying, how is there not automatic? Like,
yeah. Well, I
whether we
mean,
should or not, I'm surprised there isn't.
that's the first thing I think of. Remember when Bob Costas had pink eye during the Olympics? And he had to
No.
do the broadcast, and it was like his eye was like leaking. It was just so
God.
disgusting. And
So
they kept
yeah,
him
he
on
had
there,
poop in his eye.
right? And
Oh
no one makes
God.
that same thing. Like they're not making the connection. They're just like, oh, what a bummer. He had pink eye during his like big time Olympics broadcast. But it's like, yeah, well, he was not careful when he was wiping.
Or
That's
he
what you
was
get.
69 at someone and they blew a fart right in his eye.
Yeah, that's not
You
good.
know, I mean, this is Bob Costas we're talking about. You know,
So what is your proposal for when someone gets pink eye? What should be your move?
you just stay
Just
on. Oh
hide.
yeah, yeah, you hide. You shame. Like there's more shame of fucking having COVID than there is having poop in your
Yeah,
eye
that's a
lately.
good point. And COVID's like, especially at this point, it's so outside of your own control.
Yeah,
So pink eye
I
you
don't know.
can't catch from like if someone has pink eye and then rubs their eye and then touches a table and then I touch the table in the same spot and then I rub my eye, could that give me pink eye or does it have to come from poop?
I think so. I think yeah. I think it's highly contagious like that
Oh,
way.
well,
But
so you,
it's poop.
no, but you have plausible deniability. The embarrassing part isn't that you have poop in your eye. The embarrassing part is how you got poop in your eye. Were you
That's why we are where we're at because everyone's just playing. Oh well, of course it wasn't me. I mean,
right?
I got someone else that stuck their finger in their asshole.
But that's what holds societies together is that because if
The
we all
deniability.
you need the deniability, I think.
Well, we've got it because it is. They're
So
sending
who's got
fucking.
pink eye in the house?
They're
Just
sending
Phoebe?
newsletters across the whole daycare. Hey everyone, pink eye is going around.
Oh my
Ugh,
god. How about lice?
let's.
Ginger's daycare didn't have like an outbreak, but the kid of the daycare teacher who's older, she goes to kindergarten and they had an outbreak at her school of lice. And then that kid had lice. And then she's like, oh no, but I, separated her and I checked my other son who's in the daycare and he doesn't have it. And we got it, I think. Then it happened again. So then you're like, okay. But she's like, oh, but we got, we're staying on top of it and keeping him safe. Then I go pick Ginger up from school. This kid's just hanging out with the kids, in the daycare. I'm like, could you at least keep
Oh
her
my god.
upstairs? Again, like little
Yeah, put a
plausible
bag over her
deniability.
head or something. Yeah.
then
Ah.
then it's heartbreaking because she's kindergarten and Ginger's just a couple years younger. And then she's like, Ginger's leaving. I'm trying to get her out of there. Like, oh, I need a hug. So I'm like, I gotta let Ginger hug this lice infested
Kid lice?
Well, no, now technically they say she doesn't, but those things are insidious.
Yeah.
But what would you have done?
Oh.
Like, Guy, don't touch her. You gotta let her hug.
Yeah, I would. I would have been like, yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Yeah.
We got food at home. We'll hug her tomorrow.
Got food.
I don't know, whatever. Oh God.
Yeah. Anyway, kids and diseases.
Kids and diseases.
What if you get the
back.
pink eye now, though?
That would be
on the other foot.
That'd be very, very frustrating and embarrassed.
I'm gonna knock on wood right now, but I don't think I've had pink eye. At least, definitely not as an adult.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Hey, cheers to us.
I'm pretty good about keeping shit out of my eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of a big boy.
You know what would work too? If you're like looking for plausible deniability, you remember who was it that said like you shouldn't keep your toothbrush out in a cup because every time
it was my buddy Aaron.
So I could be like, yeah, man, it sucks, but every time you have a chance of getting pink eye every time if you don't wear your goggles when you go take a shit.
That's right. Your guys are right there.
Yeah. So
good call.
The particles.
Good call. They're in the air, baby.
They're in the air. Okay. Well.
All right. Good up.
Good
up.
up.
About does it. Shit in the air, baby.
Thanks everybody for listening to the Cavalry. Now,
America's favorite podcast.
America's favorite podcast. I've been promoting these same shows over and over again. I'm going to do it one more time. Omaha, April 18th. Kansas City, April 19th. Lincoln, Nebraska, April 20th. Wichita, April 21st. All those shows are on my website. Johnny?
Yeah, baby. I'm just going to plug that Delafield show, April 20th. Delafield it's at the Lake Country, Delafield Legion. Delafield Legion Post in Wisconsin.
All right. Check that out. And thank you, everybody, for listening to
The Cavalry. Stay tuned for Patreon.
Oh, yeah. Forgot to say that.